back to our channel. Today, Iran has transferred 5 American prisoners from jail to house arrest, marking the initial step in a sensitive agreement. This deal, achieved through behind-the-scenes diplomacy, aims to release the prisoners from Iran, end an extended period of detention, and unfreeze billions of dollars in Iranian assets. The negotiation involves a transfer of $6 billion in frozen Iranian oil revenue from South Korea to a special account in Qatar, designated for humanitarian purchases like food and medicine. This arrangement has been described as a prisoner swap by Iran. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed optimism about the prisoners' release. While the funds will be administered by Qatar, they won't go directly to Iran, and they'll be used exclusively for humanitarian purposes. The deal has sparked political controversy in the U.S., with some criticizing it as appeasement. Despite this development, it's uncertain whether it will impact the efforts to revive the nuclear accord, and the complex relationship between the U.S. and Iran continues to be a factor in negotiations. In a significant breakthrough, Iran has moved 5 American prisoners from incarceration to house arrest, signaling the initiation of a multifaceted agreement. This intricate deal, meticulously orchestrated through discreet diplomacy, represents a pivotal step towards the eventual release of these detainees and the thawing of billions of dollars in Iranian assets. These negotiations have unfolded against a backdrop of prolonged tensions between the two countries and the collapse of separate talks concerning a nuclear deal. The crux of the matter revolves around the transfer of $6 billion in Iranian oil revenue, frozen in South Korea due to U.S. sanctions. This sum is set to be repositioned to a specialized account in Qatar, earmarked solely for humanitarian purchases such as essential food and medical supplies. Characterized as a prisoner swap by Iranian officials, this arrangement involves mutual amnesty and the release of 5 individuals from each side. The United States Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, expressed his belief that this development marks the beginning of the end of the ordeal for the prisoners and their families. Although the funds are Iran's own, the international community seeks to ensure that they are allocated exclusively for humanitarian endeavors, underlining that Iran won't receive sanctions relief. However, political dynamics within the United States have led to contentious discussions around the deal. Critics argue that it might alleviate financial constraints on Iran, while proponents emphasize the humanitarian aspects of the agreement. This backdrop underscores the complexities of international diplomacy, especially when dealing with long-standing adversaries. Despite the breakthrough, it remains uncertain whether this development will have any bearing on the broader effort to rekindle the 2015 nuclear agreement, particularly given the prevailing domestic situation in Iran. Additionally, the historical animosity between the two nations, dating back to the 1979 Islamic Revolution, continues to shape the course of negotiations. In summary, the movement of American prisoners from jail to house arrest in Iran is a pivotal step in a multifaceted agreement involving frozen assets, diplomacy, and humanitarian considerations. As the delicate negotiations unfold, the implications for U.S.-Iran relations and the broader international landscape remain a subject of both hope and skepticism.